What up, guys? Welcome to the fifth edition of building a marketplace, a stars marketplace for trading stars, basically. So let me just go to close that one and we go here. So this is basically today's what we're going to be doing today. So I'll just quickly start by introducing myself, and then I'll talk a little bit about Speedboat Marketplace, also about the idea, what we're building. So just a sneak peek here. It looks like this now. Doesn't it look cool? And then we'll jump into actually solving a couple of issues that there are on yourmystar.com, which is the new name, by the way. I think last week it was still called Claim Your Star Now. So I thought this name is a little bit better, yourmystar.com. I hope you also think so. But I think it's a little bit easier to remember. So let me just start by introducing myself. My name is Rasmus. I'm originally from Denmark, but I'm based in Portugal. And I love building, and I love especially building marketplaces. And I built a couple of marketplaces in the past, actually quite a lot. But one of them is Nordic Mugs, a marketplace for buying and selling moving mugs that are quite popular in the Nordic region. I also built a marketplace for turning your house into a co-working space. That one failed, unfortunately. And I also built a marketplace for buying and selling host-read podcast ads. So I think that's me. So a little bit about Speedbuild Marketplace. So Speedbuild Marketplace is a boilerplate for quickly building a marketplace MVP, basically. So if you are a little bit technical, actually you don't need to be that technical. You just need to know how to use AI. Then you can build something similar to what I am building and what I have been building. So everything is set up for you from the beginning with this boilerplate. So basically, you don't have to use all the time on setting up database, Stripe Connect, authentication, where I'm using Clerk, emails, and so on, right? So all of this is set up for you. So all the boring parts are basically there, you could say, and then you just take it from there and build your marketplace MVP. So it's really a time saver. So of course, I'm a little bit biased here, but I would recommend you checking it out. And there are already a lot of builders actually using it, and I've gotten quite a good feedback from pretty much all of them actually. So check that one out. Cool. So let me just go back to here. So let me jump into then the new idea, which is a marketplace, as I was saying. Well, actually, it's not a marketplace yet, but it will be a marketplace. But right now, it is a kind of like a directory, you could say. Well, right now, it's still not a directory, right? But we'll start with one site, and then if we can get people to actually use that site, then we'll turn it into a marketplace. But basically, it's the idea is that you give a star to someone that you care about. So you claim a star for someone you care about, and then eventually you can then also sell that star. But right now, you can basically claim a star like this, like any star. Right now there are only 30 stars, but there will be more eventually. So right now there are 30 stars, and you can then claim one, and then you can kind of dedicate it to someone you care about, or someone you maybe it's one who is not here anymore, or someone like your friend. It could also be a pet. It could be anyone, someone you care about. You claim that star for that person, and that would then show on this dedication board. And you can also send an email to that person that you're claiming that star for, right? And then we have some fun things here, like a leaderboard, for instance. So when you do certain stuff on the You're My Star marketplace, I'm just going to call it a marketplace right now, even though it's not a marketplace yet. But then you get kind of Stardust, you call it, which is kind of like coins, right? So let me just quickly show you how it works if I claim a star, right? So I think I just have to, because Right now, you can only claim 2 stars per person as a maximum, right? And as you can see here, there are some of the stars here that are eternal, right? So in order to claim a star as eternal, you have to right now pay $49 to get it as an eternal star, right? And that when a star is then eternal, then there's this beautiful golden border around it. There's this badge here where you can see what you get. And actually, you can also add a backlink then to whatever site you would want to. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep that feature there or I'll remove it. I have to actually discuss with a good friend of mine who's quite good at this stuff, right? But um, right now, it looks like this, right? So you will have it internally. And the cool thing about that is that you have to have it eternally in order to then eventually be able to sell the star. Right now, you cannot sell it, but you will be able to in the, let's say, the near future, right? But it's still cool, right? Because like all the other ones, if I claim a star right now, and one of the other stars that I'm going to do in just a moment, then I only have it for 7 days, and then someone else will be able to claim it. So that's basically how it works. So that's why it's cool to claim a star as an eternal star, right? So, but if I click here right now, you can see that I already claimed 2 stars, so I cannot claim any more stars right now, right? So I'm just going to go into the database. Let me show you here. So we are on the development, and I am gonna then just adjust my users. So instead of having claimed 2 stars, I'm just gonna remove this one. Let me just go ahead and do like this. And now I think I should be able to, oh, there's a small issue there. Okay. I think I should be able to claim one more. Let's see. I'm actually not. That is interesting. Okay. So maybe I changed something there. Okay. That's great. Oh, sorry. I'm in production here, right? So here in development, you can see that my user here, I have 2 stars here. So I just remove these two. Cool. From the array. And then now I can claim a new star, right? Okay, cool. So let me just try and show you. So I'm going to, and by the way, you can also go here and look at all the stars and you can kind of like filter a little bit. There are so many filter options that I want to add eventually, but right now it's very simple, right? So it's just the claimed, the unclaimed ones, and then you can also filter on the age of the star, right? Anyway, let's try and claim this star here, right? So Bernard's star. So I'm gonna click here, and then I see this beautiful model. At least I think so myself. And then you can see here, okay, add the recipient's name or nickname, email of the recipient. That is not mandatory, only if you want to. Then you add a message, and there's some quick message options down here, right? So right now I'm just gonna add whatever here, right? So Peter Sun. Let's just say I have a friend that is called this, and I can then add this guy's email as well, but I'm actually just gonna skip that right now. So if you add an email as well, that person will just be notified that someone claimed a star for him or her, right? Cool. So, but of course, if it's a deceased person, then that wouldn't make any sense. So this is not mandatory, right? And then I'm just gonna write a message here, but instead of writing it myself, I'm just gonna pick one of these actually. You are this one. Destiny brought us together under starlight. And then I'll just add something. Thank you. Cool. Actually, I'll just keep it to this like right now, right? So then I'm gonna submit it. And then I'm basically claiming that star. So you can see that it was saying that I got 250 then in Stardust added to my account. And you can see that now there is a change in the batch here. So now it says 7 days remaining. So because this is not claimed as an eternal star, then I only have it for 7 days, basically, right? So in 7 days, someone else will be able to claim this star. Now, if I go into the star, I can see down here the user dedication that I just wrote. So Destiny brought us together under Starlight, thank you. And if I click here, it then takes me to the dedications board, which is kind of like, the idea here is to have like a like the universe, like, right, you're looking at the universe and then you see all the dedications made, right? So hopefully we're gonna have like hundreds or thousands of different dedications here, right? So this is cool, right? So you can see this one. I can then click here. No, I can. Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, so I can click here, and then it just shows me a little bit about. Well, shows anyone a little bit about that user who actually made that dedication. So this is me, right? So it's based on usernames here, right? So a little bit similar to Reddit. See, I claimed 1 star, and this is my Stardust, right? I can then also go ahead and like it. Well, anyone could go ahead and kind of like it or upvote it, and then you can see it looks like this, right? So there's like some firework, and that looks pretty cool, at least I think so, right? Cool. So I think that is a little bit about how it works. Well, there are a couple of other things I just want to show you quickly. So if I then go to the dashboard area, in here I can see, of course, my claimed stars. So this is also where I would then claim it as eternally, right? So basically I would claim the star that I just claimed normally. I can then claim that as an eternal star. I will then pay $49 in order to do that. I can then do all these things, right? So I can sell it in the future. It's really cool to have that star as an eternal star then. And I can then also add a backlink to whatever website that you would want to. And that one I'm a little bit unsure about. I'm also thinking about actually maybe adding a second payment tier. So maybe one that would be like 199, which would be the one where you would then be able to add that backlink. Or maybe I'll just remove it entirely, at least to begin with, because I'm a little bit unsure if this is something that provides kind of value in this sense, right? So that one is in the, I'm thinking about that one, basically, as I was just saying before. You can see my active claims here, expired claims, and so on, right? So expired claims, so in 7 days, if I don't buy this one as an eternal start, that one would of course be seen here then, right? Cool. Then if I go to Stardust, I can then see all my Stardust. So I collected 11,300 Stardust at the moment, and you can see a little bit about how you earn Stardust here, right? And then here on user info, I can see my user info. So my username, my email, and here I can also change the avatar, right? And that is actually also one of the things we're going to be doing today, right? So as you see here, right? So show how it works. I think I showed now how it works, and always just put some questions in the chat if there's something you are a little bit interested in me going deeper into. But now we're then gonna be adding a little bit of firework, as we call it, when a user chooses a premium avatar. And maybe we'll also try and adjust the functionality when paying with Stardust. And then in the end, we're gonna try and launch again just on YouTube, because I just wanna have it a little bit more ready before I then launch on the other platforms, right? So that is probably gonna be, I think, next week, right? So like then we're probably gonna try and launch it on Product Hunt, Twitter, of course. I don't have that many followers on Twitter, but we might as well try. And I think where it can work the best is actually maybe on Reddit, right? Because there's some cool Reddit threads out there that might actually be interested in something fun like this, right? At least I hope so. So we're going to be finding out, right? Cool. Let's do it. So let's do a little bit of coding here, right? So add firework when a user chooses a premium avatar. And when I say firework, is basically what I showed before. So if I go back here, so when I say firework, it's kind of similar to what I was showing before when I was like uploading a card on the user dedication board, and I'm not sure what is happening here. So let me just try and refresh here. So it's kind of stuck. It seems like okay. I don't know what was happening there. Okay, cool. So let me try and just, so again, what I mean is like firework is kind of similar to this, right? So if I remove this one and then add it again, you can see this kind of firework. But yeah, so I think that is pretty cool to have when you choose an avatar that is a premium avatar. And let me show you again what I mean with a premium avatar. So here I go to the user info, and you can see here that I can change my avatar. Right? So we have the freemium avatars up here, and then we have the premium avatars down here. As you can see that the premium avatars are much cooler, right? Look at this rhino here, right? That's pretty cool. Okay, cool. So basically how it works is like, so if I want to choose that one, I just click it and then it changes my avatar picture, right? And you can see it's also changed up here, right? Cool. But what we want to do then is, so if I click here, you can see that I can then pay for it with Stardust, which costs 1,000 Stardust, or I can pay with card, right? So basically, it will then take me to Stripe, and then I pay there, right? So if I click here, it will just use 1,000 of my Stardust, and actually, I'm not sure it does that at the moment. No, you can see that it's still the same. So that is also something, if we have time, we can try and adjust. But basically, when I picked a premium one, I always want the firework to be firing, basically, right? So let's just try and see if we can get that to work, basically. Cool. So let's go into the code. So here we are, right? And I'm using cursor at the moment just because I find that a little bit better than GitHub Copilot in Visual Studio Code. It seems like they are better at the moment, at least, at coding. And that might change in a couple months, maybe in 3 months. It's going to be another editor called Windsurf that is better. Who knows, right? I'm pretty sure that this will change pretty quickly, right? Anyway, so here I'm on the profile client, right? So that is basically this one. And here is where I can then basically change, like, so I have this model there, and also I then have the route where it changes it, right? And this is also the route where if I choose to pay with card, it will then call Stripe, and I then also have a webhook for Stripe. That is, a webhook is kind of a listener. So after a successful payment on Stripe, it would then basically look for this. Well, it would listen for this event type that Stripe will fire, which is called payment intent succeeded. And then if it receives that one, then it will basically do this stuff, right? So we change the avatar, and yeah, this is then also where we would add the firework and so on, right? Cool. But let's just try and do it here. Right? So basically, we're just going to be writing. So we're not going to be coding as such. Well, this is, I guess, what we call coding in this time and age. Right? Cool. So basically, how we do it, right? So we just write profile. So we wanted to know about this one. We also wanted to know about the claim premium avatar. So let's also add that one here. Claim premium avatar. That was not that one. Claim premium avatar. Cool. No, actually, also let's give it the. No, I think that is good for now. So when I pick a premium avatar and it succeeds, I want it to fire the. Let's just call it firework. Firework canvas. This one, and then let's just actually try and see what it's actually called. So let's just try and find it, if we can find that firework that I'm talking about. So let's just see what is it called. So let's see. Confetti. Oh, here. So we have the star confetti, we have the heart confetti, and internal confetti, right? So that's just 3 that we made. And by the way, these are based on, I think it's called NPM confetti or something like that. Yeah, canvas confetti, which is a package, right? So this is just the one I'm using. And it's pretty cool, to be honest. You can also see that there are a lot of coders using it. So it has like, I don't know, like more than 400,000 downloads weekly. That's always a good sign. So a lot of people are using this one. So there shouldn't be that many, there shouldn't be any bugs in it, at least. That's what I read from that. Cool. So that's basically just the package that I'm using, and that's the one I'm then adjusting on. Cool. So if we go back to the code, let's use this one, right? So star confetti. Star confetti. Okay, that's it, right? So profile, blah, blah, blah. When I pick a premium avatar and it succeeds, I want it to fire firework canvas, this one. Okay, cool. Let's see what it says, right? So that's the basic I wanted to do, right? So basically, once it succeeds, it's cool that something actually happens, right? Instead of it just changing like that, right? So it always look better if something visual happens when you do something. So it just looks a little bit cooler, similar to what I was showing just before. So let's see what it says, right? So here, if I go here, so then when I pick, actually not when I pick one of the freemium ones, but when I pick one of the premium ones, it should then fire some kind of star confetti here. It's being pretty slow right now, actually. So let's see if it actually comes up with something, right? Maybe that is because, let me just try and do like that. Let's see. So does it come up with anything? So I'm just gonna have some coffee at the same time. So let's see. Usually it's actually pretty fast, so that is interesting. Oh, here we go, right? Okay, so it'll help you add star confetti effect when a premium avatar is successfully purchased. So it doesn't actually, well, it is purchased, I guess. Like, so you can purchase a premium avatar in 2 ways, right? You can either use Stripe and pay the $8, or you can pay with the 1,000 Stardust that you might have collected, right? So, and you collect Stardust by claiming stars, and also in other ways that will come eventually, right? But that is the main way at the moment. Okay, cool. So here we go. So, so what is it doing here? So let's see, right? So here on the profile, what is it changing here? Let's see. Okay, here we go. Okay, so use effect. So it's checking for successful payment, and if that is, it's finding that one, then it is basically triggering the star confetti premium avatar unlock, and you can see that, yeah, then it's firing that one, right? So it's triggering, so it's adding a couple, yeah, okay. So it's importing the star confetti as trigger star confetti, and then it's triggering that if a premium one is basically bought, right? Okay, so let's accept that one, and we go to the next one. So here on the claim premium avatar, so here you can see premium avatar, so it's adding the images. We already had that, okay, name, and then unlock, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and it's, okay, it's not doing that there. So what is it doing here? So it's just, okay, so it's just changing the name. Okay, so we're just writing, well, it's basically the same, right? Images is just adding them in a different way. Yeah, okay, instead of using that, that's fine. And description is the same, right? So it's basically not doing anything here. Cool. So let's just see if this works, and then we can also afterwards maybe try and do a payment on Stripe. So if I do like this, it should not do anything, and it's not, right? So, but it is changing, right? So see, right now I'm the unicorn, and now I'm this alien with this thing on the head, right? So if I then go to a premium one, so let's go to this dog one, and I use Stardust for it, it did not do anything. Wait. Okay, so why did it not do that? Okay, interesting. That might actually be because, so it is changing it. Let's just try and do like this. Okay, so I think it's only doing it if we pay on Stripe. Well, let's just see if we can do that as well, and then we see if it works there. Let's see. Okay, cool. So it should also fire if I just use Stardust as the payment method for a premium avatar. Let's just see if that changes everything, anything. So the way it works here, if I go here and then pay with a card, it will then direct me to Stripe. It will not, because, well, it was supposed to direct me to Stripe profile client. I failed to create checkout session. Okay, interesting. And let's just see what it says here. Okay. Okay. So there's actually something wrong there, and it's not firing that as I would like it to. Okay. Not a valid URL. Okay. So that's actually what it changed just before. So I'm not sure why it made those changes here, but let's actually just revert that one. So go back, because it's pretty much the same, but it wasn't using. So it was removing the URL here, right? I think so, right? So let's just see if we can do it now. So if I go now here and click there. Okay, it's being a little bit slow now. Let's just give it 1 second. Let's see. Come on. Yeah, that one is the same one as I was saying before. So if I go here now and click on that one and pay with card. Okay, cool. So I am sent to Stripe. The image is not working, but that is working in production, I know. So that is something about that you cannot send the image that way in localhost. So that's fine. Okay, so what does it say here? Okay, premium avatar, premium Cosmic Explorer, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so $8. So it will look better when you see the image, but imagine that the image is there, right? Okay, cool. Then on Stripe, I'm here in test, my test area. So we have to have the listener open for the webhook, right? Because after a successful payment, we then have this webhook that needs to listen for this event here, right? And in order for that to work in development mode, we have to enable this one here, right? So let's just do that. So you can see here, Stripe login, and then we have to forward to this event here, like this, the actual webhook, right? So here, if I then open another terminal, so I have two terminals open, let's write this, and then here we are on localhost 3000, right? So we have to add the exact one we wanted to listen to, right? And you can see here that I'm under the API folder, and then it's under webhooks, and then Stripe avatar, right? So API, webhooks, and then Stripe avatar. Cool. So let's just see what it says here. I think we are good now, right? And then we are listening for the payment intent succeeded. Cool, and I think we should be logged in, so this should be enough, I hope, right? But let's try. So you can see we have two terminals open here. The Stripe is just like this one is just for the webhook, like listening for that webhook, right? Cool. Let's see what happens here, right? Actually, I might just go back and then, okay, so it actually, you can see that that was a mistake, right? Because that was actually not a success there, right? So, but we did see the firework there, right? Okay, cool. So it does probably work then on the, only when I pay with Stripe, but not when paying with Stardust, it seems. Right? Okay, let's try and pay for this one, right? So I'm just gonna put something in, right? So Peter, whatever, right? So, and because I'm in test mode, so on Stripe, you can just put in card information that is some fake card information, right? And I know that this one works, right? So here, and let's just put in Peter's and Portugal, that is fine. Okay, so right now when I click pay, it should then pay, and then here we should see some information firing here for the webhook, the listener, that should then do something here, right? Because it should update the database and also update on the front end. It should update the avatar to the new one which you chose, right? Okay, let's do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pay. Nice, premium avatar unlocked. So it is working, and I see the new one there, right? There's still this small issue here, but that's on all pages. Okay, cool. So it is working. So that's awesome. And it looks pretty good, doesn't it? I hope it does at least. And then there's one other thing. So first of all, I didn't see it if I just pay with, so if I pay here with, if I pay with Stardust, I don't see it, do I? Oh, I do actually. Okay, cool. So that is also working. I have this cool Rhino here. But there's one more thing. When I pay with Stardust, it doesn't decrease the amount of Stardust that I have with the 1,000 that is supposed to, right? Because we are writing here that if I use Stardust, it's gonna cost me 1,000 Stardust. And by the way, one thing I forgot to show is, I just want to show here in the code. Yeah, so actually we did not see that here, but yeah, everything was working for the event, like the webhook. So that is good. Do we actually see that here? I'm not sure if you see that here. That is actually interesting. Why are we not seeing that here? Let me just try one more time, actually, because I'm a little bit confused why we did not see that here. Okay, so here we are logging in again. Ah, fuck. So I have to add a code that I have here on my app here. 2 seconds, guys. So 708141. Okay, cool. And then it just, so I'm in test mode, you're my star, and I allow access. So maybe this is why we did not see it. So let's just try one more time. Okay, cool. So we are gonna then listen to the same one. So localhost 3000 API webhook Stripe avatar. Let's just try one more time because I was a little bit confused why we did not see the events firing here. Cool. So and what does it say here? Okay, so this is completed now. I think maybe we did like some small mistake before. So again, I'm gonna choose the mouse, pay with card, put in whatever here, Peter, and then 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, and like this, and just Peter here, and we pay. So let's see what happens now. And I chose the mouse, didn't I? Cool, premium avatar unlocked. I have the mouse chosen, and I see also the, let's see. Okay, cool. So here it is, right? So it is changing it correctly. Well, it is firing all the events before. That was what I was confused about just before, right? So it is correct, isn't it? But actually, it did not change it up there, did it? Interesting. So it only changes. Interesting. So now we have the mouse here, but it did not change it up here. Okay. So that is something I will have to look into, because it does change it when I do like this, I think. Yeah, so it does change it there. And I think it also, if I use Stardust, it is also changing it. Okay, so there's one thing missing there. We can quickly see if we can figure that out, right? So claim premium one. So that is not when we are on Stripe, of course, right? So claim premium one. So Stardust. Actually, it might just be here, actually. So it's probably handle avatar selections like that. Set show payment model, handle avatar change. Handle payment, that is not what we're looking at. Handle start of payment. Okay, so here we're triggering the confetti. Wait, handle avatar change. And here's the handle avatar change. Okay. Show payment model. So it's closing all that. Okay. Let's just try, and at least we have to. So if I do like this, use Stardust, it has to, as you can see, it has to then remove the 1,000 that I paid, right? So of course, from the model here, right? So here you can see on my user, I have 11,050 Stardust. Okay, so I also get more Stardust. Yeah, that's true. So the first time I choose an avatar, it's doing that, right? Cool. So cool. Let's try it. So when picking a premium avatar via the Stardust avatar and paying with Stardust, that it has to decrease the 1,000 Stardust from the user. So the user model. So I'm just going to be linking to the user model here, basically. Okay, so let's do that first. Let's see what it says. And then afterwards, let's try and find out why it's also, there's some kind of weird thing about, so that's the skeleton. And then there's something about the way that, that right area. Actually, I think that's use. Okay, let's see. So what is it doing here? Okay, so it's adding await handle avatar change. So here in the handle Stardust payment. So set user. Okay, so it's adding this one, right? So user, update user ID, and then it's, yeah, so then it's just decreasing the amount with 1,000 here, as you can see, right? Cool. And then it's doing the update the avatar afterwards. A set profile, yeah, update the local state, and yeah, decreasing with 1,000. Okay, cool. So this should be it for that one, I believe. Let's try. So basically, when I then go and pick a premium avatar and choose to pay with Stardust, it should then basically decrease it with 1,000 Stardust. Yeah, cool. let's try and do it. And let's see if it works. So, okay, so how much Stardust do I have right now? So I have 11,300. We can also see that here. 11,300, right? Okay, good. So if I then pick another premium one and I use Stardust to pay for that, cool. So now I should have less Stardust. And that didn't work. Yay. I still have 11,300. Great. Okay. So why is that not working? Did not work. So again, I'm using AI here because it's usually faster instead of me looking through all the code, right? So I just tried paying with Stardust and it did not decrease the amount with a 1000 Stardust on the user afterwards. And then let's link to the ones, right? So profile client side, and then also claim premium avatar, right? And what is the model called here, right? So profile loader. No, that should be it, I think. So let's see if it figures it out. Yeah. See the issue, let's debug and fix the Stardust deduction problem. Okay, so it's saying that there might be an issue with the handle Stardust payment function. Let's make a more robust implementation. Okay, let's see what it comes up with, right? Awesome. Let's see. Yep. Okay, so now we need to create a new, okay, so it's creating a new API endpoint that will handle both updating the avatar, the document Stardust in a single request. Let's create this file. Okay, so it's basically creating a new route. Interesting. Let's see if that is going to work then. And if not, this is a relatively simple thing to fix, so it shouldn't be that complicated, right? Again, right? So like there are different ways you then can earn. So I want to add more ways to earn Stardust, and then when you are leading in Stardust, then there's the leaderboard that is kind of fun to look at. At least I think so, and I hope other people also will find it kind of fun to look at, right? And maybe that could also be an area where you can then potentially add some kind of mechanism to incentivize people to try and earn more Stardust, right? So there are many ways that this can be made more fun to basically come into maybe every day, right? Once a week to try and do something good in the universe, right? So here you can see how the leaderboard looks at the moment, but there's so many ways that you can add things to this one to make it more fun, right? Okay, so it's still actually kind of trying to figure this out. It is being a little bit slow today, right? So let's see. Let's try a different approach. Instead of creating a new endpoint, let's modify the existing. Okay, so first it created the new endpoint, and now it's just modifying the existing one. Great, right? So, but it's kind of cool that it sometimes it like the cool thing is that it does stuff, and then it also kind of tests if it is correct what it just did, which is cool, right? That's like a normal coder, right? For instance, if it's missing some type information, it then usually figures it out itself, or if it's importing something not the correct way, then it usually figures that out itself, right? So that's why I find it better than GitHub Copilot, basically, because it just seems like, at least with with coding at the moment. Claude, which is the one I believe that I'm using at the moment, which is kind of built into Cursor, is just better at the moment, right? So it's pretty cool. Okay, let's see what it does here, right? So what is it doing here? Okay, so it's adjusting the endpoint, well, the function here. So what is it doing? So it's, okay, so first it was calling this new one. So it's calling user, and then it's just decreasing it with 1,000. So the profile.stardust, it's decreasing it with 1,000. And then down here, it is doing what it was doing before, right? Okay, cool. Console log, that's fine. All of this is fine. So that's if you pay. Yeah, so that's just for the handle avatar change, right? Cool. So let's see. It's still deleting that route. Then let's see, unused. Okay, let's just accept this one then. And review next file. So this was the one that it update avatar with Stardust. That's the one it is deleting, I think. Okay, let's just see. Was there anything else? I think that's it, right? So is it calling that one at the moment? Claim premium avatar? No, it's not. Okay, let's just see. And if this doesn't work, I think we're going to leave it there. This should not be a complicated thing to do. So let's just see. So if I pick this one and I pay with Stardust, I see the firework or the stars. That's cool. It does change it up here. So that's good. And I still have the same Stardust amount here, right? Great. How can that be so difficult? Apparently it is. Okay, I think we're gonna leave it there for now. It's probably gonna be too boring for you guys to look at, right? But anyway, I would love your feedback on what you think. Is this fun? Is it not fun? Oh yeah, actually, one thing we are missing, right? Because already right now there is a working edition of this marketplace on You Are My Star. So youaremystar.com looks like this. There's only one star that has been claimed, as you can see here. So again, I'm just gonna try and launch it to you guys on YouTube right now. So I go to YouTube and I go to your videos and I go to the dashboard area and here to the post tab, right? So you can see the last one I had was this one, right? So there wasn't much happening here, right? So I don't know, maybe it's annoying for you guys to see these ones. So I think I'm just gonna add it here again, right? As a comment, at least for now, right? Because I'm not sure if YouTube is probably not the best place to launch via text like this. YouTube is a place where you watch, right? But right now, this is all I have. So again, you are welcome to go and claim a star as one of the first ones. New domain is okay. So I think we're just gonna do like that for now, right? I don't want to annoy all of you with a lot of posts all the time here. So let's see if any of you guys actually does anything. And then I think next week or the week after, we're going to be launching other places. But I would love to hear what you think. Always just like comment on this video here afterwards if you found it interesting. So I think that's it for now. So we did pretty much all of it. We didn't figure this out, but it's a very easy task. So I'm just going to do this right after this call, but I don't want to bother you guys with trying to fix this live here because this, I think you get what I'm trying to do here. I'd love to hear what you think about this this idea and this upcoming marketplace. I hope that you think it's just as fun as I find it. And to be honest, it's so much fun to code this. I love it, right? Because the universe is so interesting. So yeah, I hope I'm not the only one who thinks that. but this can potentially be something really, really fun, right? So cool. That's it, guys. I hope that you found it interesting. Always just reach out to me if you have any questions, and if not before, I'll see you in the next video. See you guys. Bye.